we went to sleep, and I got woke up by this phone call on my sister.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's kind of like I had like a couple of missed calls as well.
Yeah.
So I rang her, and she was like real serious voice. She was like, David. And I was like, yeah. She was like, the police are here. And I was like,
Fuck.
I was thinking like someone's been in an accident, something horrible has happened here. And she was like, they've got guns, they're going through your stuff. And then I just like jump out of bed. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hello and welcome back to Here's the Craic. We're back with another guest. We've got David from Greedy Gwin. Is it Derry you're from? Or?
Yeah.
Derry.
Draperstown in Derry.
For anyone listening who hasn't heard of Greedy Gwin, which would be surprised, do you want to tell us a bit about it?
So, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been buying and selling from a real young age. Like when I was 13 in school, selling sweets to other pupils. When I was 16, buying and selling online, like digital codes, like Xbox codes and stuff.
Vouchers and stuff, or what? What way does that work?
So the very first thing I sold was like, like Xbox Live membership.
Yeah.
Like
Are you like that guy off what you call that program Recess? You know, where they come out and the guy's got the big coat on and they say, "What you want?"
That used to be me.
So you've done like trying different things from a young age, though?
I was thinking about it earlier before I came on here. I remember when I was like 16 years old, before choosing GCSEs, and I was thinking, okay, GCSEs, A-levels, degree, full-time job, don't want to do that. That's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, I need money. I need to figure out a way to make some legally.
Yeah. We just not talk about the illegal ones in this area.
So just started looking for ways to sell online from then.
Yeah.
And then when I was 19, dropped out of uni, started the company, just full-time buying and selling.
What made you drop out? Was it like, I couldn't be asked for uni anymore? Or was it because the business was like starting to sort of take off? Like,
You actually went to uni as well, which like sort of by the way you were chatting there, was there something you didn't want to do? Like, was that?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want to go. My mum wanted me to go.
You were coerced into it then until...
But I got to the point where I was like, I'm making X amount of money.
Yeah.
Can I drop out for or take a year? And just like, okay. The thing I was doing that was making me so much money at the time, or enough money to drop out, it was like fraudulent.
Right.
So
Is this selling the codes, or is this a different thing?
You know those Now TV boxes?
Oh, you're a Cody man.
Oh, no. I wasn't hacking, no fire sticks, none of that. But the Now TV boxes used to come, you could get a box and a pass, like a sports pass or an entertainment pass.
Yeah.
And I used to buy them and sell them separately. So you could send the code to someone through eBay message and then post the box out to someone, because they'd be cheap to buy them as a bundle. And then obviously, like, people are looking the 3-month sports pass or whatever, and not the box because they already have it.
That's such a random thing as well. Like, what made you think of that?
Well, like, I would always search deals websites.
Yeah.
See what's on offer and all, and I was selling this product. I was getting it from like Argos or something, but then I was searching it up on eBay, like what's the price and stuff. And I seen someone selling it for like dirt cheap. Like, like I could do the math straight away in my head, and I was like, the money I can make on this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I messaged them and I was like, how many can I buy? Like, and I bought 30, and I went, well, so I just kept buying more and more and more. And I remember initially I was buying them off eBay. Then I messaged this guy and was like, can I buy them in bulk? And he was like, yeah, sure. Like, can you send out on PayPal, like friends and family? Which is like a red flag. But I was like,
no tax for him.
I was like, fuck it. It's been going so well. Like, they sent me them. Like, I'm sure they'll send them. So I spent like £3,000 or a couple £1,000 buying these ones, friends and family. So I wasn't covered.
You didn't pay like a few £1,000 up front, did you?
I'd done small orders and they worked all right.
Yeah.
But then I like did this bigger one. Basically, I got like half the order, and then I went to I was away in Amsterdam. Yeah. And then when I came back, like I still hadn't got it. I was like reaching out to them and being like, where's the rest of the boxes? Yeah. And I was like, oh, right.
You've been scammed.
I've been scammed. But I sort of made enough money from it. I was like, even though they didn't send me like half the products, I had made enough to cover it. Yeah. And I thought that was it over, but like it wasn't. I was in Thailand in August of that year. Right. So this is like after I dropped out of uni. Would have been starting second year in September. And I'm like there, I'm out with my mate. We've been there for like 10 days. And just to set the scene, like, we're completely skint here. We've got a £1,500 budget for like a 3-week trip. And we've blown through like $1,000 already.
Fuck, right. And
we're like sort of depressed. We were out the night before. He had lost his second phone, his passport. We're just deciding, should we scrape by £500 for the next 2 weeks? Or spend £500 and fly home? And we're like, right, fuck it, we'll sleep on it. We went to sleep, and I got woke up by this phone call on my sister. And I was like, it's kind of like I had like a couple of missed calls as well. So I rang her, and she was like real serious voice. She was like, David. And I was like, yeah. She was like, the police are here. And I was like,
Fuck.
I was thinking like someone's been in an accident, something horrible has happened here. And she was like, they've got guns, they're going through your stuff. And then I just like jump out of bed and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what the fuck? And she starts just saying what they're doing and they're looking for stuff. And then I sort of start to think, it comes to my mind like me selling all that stuff.
Yeah.
But this time I still don't really know. I'm just pure hysterical. I'm like crying. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, and then like my mum's on the phone in the hall and she's like, sorry, I was talking to my dad first, and my dad, he was like asking about it, and I was like, I think this is it. Like the whole like me buying and selling and losing the products. And then my mum comes in the phone, she doesn't really understand what I was doing. So she was like,
Pablo Escobar or something. Like.
First question, did you do it? Like, are you guilty? And I was like, are you fucking serious?
No.
No.
Did she think you were like dealing?
She thought I was in the wrong, like, or she wanted to know because she didn't really understand the whole thing. So like next day I was like, fuck this, I fly home early and like have to go talk to the police and all, but just tell them the truth, like, and they're like, oh, okay. The way it had been working was the people who were sending to me were using stolen credit cards to buy the products.
So it wasn't you and it was them then, really? They were
using
tracing it back
cards
basically
and put like my bill and shipping address on it.
Right.
And because the products were coming to be like one by one, I should have caught on. But then I was like, September, dropped out of university. The thing that'd be making my money is just like a big scam that I can't replicate. So I was a bit like, fuck.
Yeah.
I was a bit like, fuck. What do I do now? Like, and it was just like 2 weeks of like nothing. Because they took my laptop and all.
The police? Did they not give it back?
Not till like a year later.
New
fucking MacBook I got, like.
What was on it, like?
They wanted
7 layers of security, like.
Evidence,
oh
like,
my word.
And did they not have to give it back at some stage?
They did like a year later, but
what good's that?
I know.
No compensation or anything?
No, nothing.
I'd always freak out about that. Like, imagine if they took your phone or something, being without your phone for like we went camping there not too long ago. My phone died and we had like another 24 hours left, and I was like, I need to charge my phone. I can't be without like communication, if you know what I mean. If someone came in and took my laptop and my phone or anything, I'd be like, no, game over. Just take me. Take me. Like.
It's not worth it. No tech gels, no point.
But did you say you sold stuff on Amazon as well?
Yeah, so at the very start it was Amazon.
Yeah.
Like the very that first initial thought of me, like, I need to make money.
Yeah.
When I was 16, like made a couple £100 in a couple of days, but then my account got shut down.
Why?
It was like, you're not allowed to sell digital codes.
Only
Amazon.
Because that's something we started doing.
We
started selling stuff on Amazon, but like it's crazy the amount of money you can make on it. But like I always be shitting it because you get all these like messages saying you've like done something wrong here, your account's gonna get like shut down and shit. Like
it's the same thing as social media now. Like, do you see that thing about KSI? Like his channel's gonna get like striked off. Like he has like one community guideline or something left until like his whole channel gets shut down. Like.
Really?
I'm serious. Like, imagine they just are like, you can't.
What were the breaches like?
I don't know. It's something about like someone's reported him for basically like child exploitation or something on his videos. But like that's just as easy.
You're not going to cancel KSI.
But like the likes of him, he'll just create another channel and get the followers.
It takes that though. Like I think that's what like something I wanted to sort of chat about as well was the whole like TikTok thing. Like you've got such a big following on TikTok. It's like you'll probably never do anything wrong, but like it takes a group of people to dislike you because you're doing well, put a pile of reports through, and like all that you've worked for could just, you know, that's the way. That's so dodgy the way that's the whole thing works. Like
I think that's one thing I want to talk about as well, how you deal with that. I think you're very upfront with like people hating in comment sections and stuff like that there.
I think I'm in a good place with it. Like it's a reflection on someone. Like if someone leaves a negative comment or said something bad, it reflects on them like more so than what you're doing. Like
I think it's annoying though because the ones who would leave the shit comments don't have like a proper account. It's just like
user 1757944
like
follow 7,000 people followed by 3.
Brian 1690.
You do get the odd person who like will comment on their actual profile, but the far majority is just like wee fake profiles, and everyone knows people that are just like having a bit of crack. They make a second profile, they talk a bit of shit. Like it's a lot of times it's just harmless. It's just a bit of crack. Send it to your mates, like, and whatever.
We've done that before too. Like if we've been out drinking or something, we'll go on like
fuck that guy.
We'll go on like lives. People will be like singing or something. We'll be like, "Yo, sing us this," and they're like, "Oh, you're just here for the crack." And we're like, "Aye, dead on."
How did it go then? Just back to like the Amazon thing and all. Like, how did it go from that to the sweets then? When the sweets start? Like?
So last year I was mainly selling on Amazon, or was only selling on Amazon, and we were doing like a selection box.
Right.
Just a bunch of different like retro sweets in this wee box. And it was going really well. Like best product I've ever had. That's when I started to like hire like 5, 6, 7 people in to make them, like big production line. And then like come to the December time, like Amazon have a lot of power, like, and basically they hold your money for X amount of days before they release it. And I had to do some account verification stuff, like send some documents or whatever, and I was sending the wrong ones. I know it was, but
this is for like applications, isn't it? If you're selling like a food product,
it was like bank details. Like every year you have to like re-verify your bank details or whatever, but like they would send you an email and like you might respond like asking for more detail, but they're not gonna. They just send you the email again. Like, just you have to figure it out for yourself. I went on for weeks and I couldn't figure it out. And we had like £50,000 tied up in this account, and we couldn't get it. Basically, they were holding the money. So I was thinking, like, fuck, like we can't keep making this selection box because we're not getting any money here, and I don't know when we're going to get it. And at that time, I was posting like on my own personal David McGuigan TikTok, sharing like how business was going, things I've done, and a lot of people started suggesting, why don't you start your own website? Initially I was like, I don't have a fucking clue how to start a website. Like I don't know about advertising, don't know about marketing, but people just kept suggesting it. And I remember one night just thinking, I could give it a go. Like I don't know what I'm doing, but sure, I could give it a go. And I set up a website and like started posting on the Greedy Gwin TikTok. We had it for a while, but wasn't really doing much on it. And then just straight away just seen the potential and like the sales coming through and the traffic, and I was like, fuck, this could work. This could work. So just like completely changed from that, like selling that selection box on Amazon, and just focus to the website and posting on TikTok as much as possible.
And would you say you get more traffic on your own website than you were getting on the Amazon one before? Because I know from doing it myself, like Amazon, they do advertising all for you, like, but you're obviously paying them a lot of money to do that.
Exactly, like they take a big fee, but it's to get access to their customers. And people weren't searching for Greedy Gwin on Amazon, they were searching for sweets or sweets box, and we happen to be selling that product, which is a good way to like get there. Whereas it's more of like a brand thing now when they come to our website. Whereas on Amazon, it's like you're selling a product for their customers. It's still Amazon's brand. At the end of the day, it's not really yours. Although we do sell like the Greedy Gwin products on Amazon now, and people do search for it. Definitely way more traffic on the website.
Where does the name Greedy Gwin come from?
So first of all, did you know Gwen means a penguin? Like no one knows this. No. Like that's supposed to be a penguin.
Like penguin without the pang.
Yeah, I know that's a penguin, but I didn't know why it was there.
I know that's
like
a penguin.
It looks like a penguin. Yeah. Like people think I'm Gwen. They call me Greedy Gwin.
Oh, that's what I
see. I thought because you're David McGuigan, I thought it was Gwen.
True.
So that's doesn't really work, but I never really put too much thought into it. Like, but so where does it come from?
Yeah, so real cute story. I got my girlfriend like this wee teddy bear, a wee penguin teddy bear, and it's a penguin, and we gave it the nickname Gwen, like Gwin. And then when I was thinking about starting a brand and all, I wanted something that was like childish and fun, and I took this nickname I used to call my wee sister Chubby Bear. I used to call her Chubby Bear. She's like 9 years younger than me. And I was like, right, I took Chubby Bear.
She called the police on you, definitely, mate.
I'll call me Chubby Bear again.
That'll be the last time he calls me Chubby.
Pure storming around the room.
The police come in. Where is he? He's in there.
Here's his laptop.
They cuffed in the ground. She just goes and puts you on the head. Bitch.
We mixed those two ideas of like Chubby Bear and Gwen, and it was Chubby Gwin, and then I talked to my mum and my sisters, and they're like, it doesn't really sound that good. So I went for alliteration and just landed on Greedy Gwin. And worked with the designer, got the design made, because the design was initially for a selection box we were making. So it had like, that's where that pattern all came from, was making this real nice like premium selection box we sold on Amazon. And then because I had the brand, I was like, let's start the website with this. You know, but nobody knows that it's a penguin and Gwen means penguin. It's my
don't know now.
To me it's so obvious, like.
So like, how did it start off then, in terms of like you're 23, like you're young, so like how did it start off then to you go into like buying your own, I assume like you'll have your own warehouse and all that there, like how did it go to that, like where you're moving up, sort of? Was there any stages you were like, oh crap, this is moving very fast, or like any sort of chances that you were like, I have to do this, like I have to jump straight in? Like what was the sort of that, managing that like at like a young age? Because I feel like we obviously had Jerry on from Jawbox Gin, and he was sort of saying that he sort of had entrepreneurial sort of ventures like throughout his whole life, but like not the big one until he was well on in terms of age. And I think at that stage you're mature enough to kind of be settled that what you're doing is the right thing, whereas you were quite young. So like, how did you manage all that?
When I dropped out, I had say like £5,000, and that's when I started doing it. And I was like, I'm going to save, stay at home, not going out as much, didn't have a car. I was like, I'm going to save my money, and built it up from when I was 19 to when I was 21. And like, I used to do this thing every so often, which is basically just see how much money I have, how much do I have in stock, how much do I owe, and I'd done that. And I remember doing it, and before this, I'd done this. This was like May 2019. I remember just thinking like, when will I get a warehouse? Because I like followed guys who did it, and I didn't know at what point. And I remember doing it, and we had like 30 grand. Well, I had 30 grand. The company was worth 30 grand, and I was thinking, the next thing I need to do is hire someone to do a lot of the manual work, so I can scale. But I was working from home, and my parents didn't want someone coming to the house. Which is
just some guy showing up at 9 o'clock in the morning right here for work.
Eating sandwiches in the kitchen, like. So I had to get a warehouse then, and I got one locally. And at that time, I also hired a full-time employee, which I can say now was too much, too soon. Like piling on a full-time employee's wage, which is always the biggest, and a warehouse and all that expenses, like. When that happened, we lost money but my thinking behind that was, right, this is how much the warehouse is going to cost. This is how much money I have. And just working out, I have like at least X amount of time to make this work. Of course, it's a risk. Like, there's always risks, but I was like, I think I can do it. Like, I think I can do it. I thought I just had enough money, and I still was able to like save and stuff. So it was scary at the time, but then got used to it very quickly. But that, as soon as I like got the warehouse, like, and posted on my social media, everyone was like, people just sort of take you a bit more serious then. You know, it looks like it was just getting a lot of people reaching out and being like, oh, well done, congratulations. Whereas to me, I've just been like doing this whole thing the whole time, like. You know, it's actually the same with Greedy Gwin. Like, people think I've been doing Greedy Gwin for ages, and just like you said, you were mentioning that guy who had that big one. Like, Greedy Gwin's the first sort of one that's been like, okay, you know, there's something here. Whereas to me, I've been doing this for like years, trying to figure it out. You know.
What did you study at uni?
Mechanical engineering. I done maths and physics at school, at A level, and like I really liked maths. It wasn't too bad. You know, it wasn't too bad. It was very much of a case of, you know, when you're in school and you do those like tests, and it's like tells you what career you should do. Like engineering was the top one, so I guess I'll do engineering.
And do you think in your current line of work that those like degrees and things that you've done in the past have helped you?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't
maths
think
hasn't
so.
helped you like count sweets or anything?
Like,
because that's one of the things whenever you're always in school, it's like, oh, maths is going to be in every job you do.
Oh no, I did like maths. Like, I did like it at school, and it was easy. Like, it was easier to do than like learning. Like, I never liked like English and stuff, or like writing essays and learning. But no, maths definitely helped, especially with the accounting and finance side of things. Like, of course it helped. But in terms of the mechanical engineering, I don't think so.
But is it mad though that like when you look back, like, even people who done like business degrees and stuff would all say that it's very like theoretical, like an actual subject in school where it's like, if you decide to start your own business, these are the things you need to, like, you've got your facilities, your public liability, all that there. Like, do you feel like something like that would be more beneficial than
probably would have been? Like, I learned most of the stuff just from experience. I remember doing business in school like as a tester in like third year, and just had no interest in it. Like, I think it was always like really long, like written, like loads of essays and all, and I just no interest in that
Case
shit.
Studies
like
and stuff, wasn't it?
Learning too much, and just didn't interest me at all. Like, and I never really thought about what I'm doing as a business until I was like 19. To me, it was just always just trying to make a bit of money. Until like one of my mates was like, that's like a business. Like, it is a business. Like, you're downplaying it here. And I was just like, nah, just trying to make a bit of money. You know.
I got such like a Irish or Northern Irish thing as well. It's like you always have to like put yourself down, like, you know. It's never like, oh yeah, like I did do well here. It's like, oh no, like it's just I've made a few quid. Like.
I hate that. Like, I hate it. Is a huge thing. Like, I don't know what it comes from. Like,
I know, but it's even like people like you're saying there, a lot of ones would have been like, oh, fair play and all, and like you're doing so well, but there would be ones that would be like, people don't only want you to do so well. And then when you start doing better, then they're like, want to bring you down a peg. Like.
That's the next level. That's the next level. People want you to do well, but
I feel like over here it's like you can only get to a stage, and the people who are recognised for doing well are the people who are like killing it. Like, in terms of in our sort of end of things, where it's more like sort of creating like content and stuff, like podcasts and stuff. We always refer back to him, but your fellow Adam B. Like he's from sort of Derry direction, and like he does all the YouTubing and stuff like that there. I didn't really know about him, to be honest with you, until the whole thing came out that he bought his parents a house, and I was like, whoa, where did he come from? People, I don't know, they almost assume that if you start something different, it's like, why? Like, why are you doing that? That's so weird. You know what I mean?
I get it. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what it is because it's so like just like shitting on people and like saying like I can remember having a mate like when I was telling him what I was doing when I was younger, just being like why are you doing that? He's like, it's so dumb. Like, that's so stupid. Like, why are you doing that? And this guy was supposed to be my friend. Like, and I was very like shy when I was younger, and I just would have sort of took it.
Yeah.
Are you still friends with this guy?
Nah.
I got getting older as well. You realise these things, though.
Aye, and I was just like compared to some of the friends I would have now, you just like it's like total uplifting.
Yeah.
You know, but it's such an Irish thing, I think.
So like now with your sort of brand and the whole thing, like whenever you got the warehouse, was it like case of like trying to find people to like stock the stuff? Because like you do a lot of American sweets as well, like I noticed like the Airheads and all, like how do you sort of sort all, was that you that sorted all that there out, or did you need a hand from anybody to try and sort of get that up and running?
At the time, me moving into the warehouse and even up until then, all I was doing was selling branded products. Didn't have Greedy Gwin. I would just buy products that were cheap, try and get them discounted, like stacking discount codes, like getting them around Black Friday, and I would just resell them after. Just do all the research on Amazon. They give you the tools, how much is something sold for, how often does it sell, what's the competition. So it's called arbitrage, just buying and selling, and that's purely Maz. Like that's all I was doing at that time. So I had like what would happen was we would order products in and we would have to prep them for Amazon, because we actually sent the products to Amazon's warehouse where they held our stock. So it was a matter of products come in, we'd get them, send them out there, and then if they sold, Amazon would ship them out for us. So we weren't dealing with like the American stuff at that stage. It's only like whenever we started the TikTok, we started asking people like, what products do you want to see, like got suggestions, and then we just order products in. So the TikTok and the website have very much like grown together. It's that like most of our sales come from TikTok, you know, that sort of way. 100%.
And is all your marketing then just on, like, do you pay for marketing, or do you just do TikTok? Like, do you do any like Facebook ads or Google ads or anything? Or
we do a wee bit of Google now. Like, we target the search word sweets, you know, and pay for it, but it's very minimal. Like, whenever we launched this sweet in the shop in Marfelt, they like ran an ad in the area, a couple mile radius, and spend like £100 on it. We don't do a wild pile on Instagram or Facebook, or we don't do a wild pile of paid advertising. You know, like you mentioned earlier, the organic reach is so good on TikTok. That's what we're trying to take advantage of.
Especially since we were saying earlier that they've reached out to maybe someone, what do you call it? Ollie Ball.
Oh yeah.
Explain that whole thing.
So we were doing TikTok live, and someone commented being like, you should send some sweets to Ollie Ball. Or maybe he joined the live, because he's joined our lives before. But I went onto his profile.
What does he just comment? It's Ollie Ball here as soon as he comes into the live.
People always go mad when he comes in. Like, but we went onto his profile and he was following us, so I was like, just followed him back straight away, and just sent him a message like, can we send you some stuff? And I was like, let's make a video about this right now. And just by like mentioning his name, like it was the best video we've ever done. Like got like 800,000 views, and we sent him like £50 or £60 worth of stuff, and I never asked him to post anything, because this guy, like, he's 100% getting bombarded by like every Tom, Dick and Harry for like a fucking post. So I was like, if we just send him some sweets, if he posts it, if he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Like, it's all right. And we got enough traffic just from purely mentioning his name that I was like, that worked out. Like, that was good. That was good.
Would be a bit suspicious if someone sending me like food. It's like things that I'm gonna consume. Just this random boy from Draperstown.
That's
take my sweets, kid.
that's just
and he's just like, aye, sure. What's the worst that could happen? Laced with flipping LSD or whatever.
A Greedy Gwin Vaughn just pulls up outside Ollie Ball's house.
He done a video with them.
He didn't do a video. I remember he posted like, it was like a corner of our selection box that has like this design, and he had like done a poll that was unrelated to the sweets, but like I just recognized it because I know the product, but like pretty sure no one else recognized it.
You never know.
But we were.
And is that like the only thing that you like? Has there been anybody else who've like notable? You've been like, holy crap.
Probably no. He's probably the biggest. Like, I wish there was a way that I could check followers to see who's verified, because we do get verified people following us. And they'll like comment, and then like I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm definitely gonna send them some stuff. Like they've got like a million. Of course I am. People always commented like, you know, I don't get £50 or £60 worth of free stuff.
Like,
right, okay. How many followers do you have?
Like, but we always do giveaways as well. Like we always do give away free stuff. But like, of course, you know, trying to get some of that clout. But
like another thing you do, as we were talking about there before we started, was the whole coming back to the like negative comment side of things. Like you kind of leave it open now, where a lot of your content is people commenting and then you're just responding. So like a lot of stuff, like you would post like if you've dropped a box of sweets or something, they'll just be like, I've dropped a box of sweets, like, and people are like, oh, I'm sure you're probably sending it anyway, something flipping it all over the floor, and you're just like, yeah.
People love to talk shit. Like they love to talk shit. Like it's just such a human thing to talk shit. Like but I answer those questions no problem, and I think it's probably worked well for us. It's just like, because people love to see your response to it as well. And like we just are open and transparent. Like everyone makes mistakes. Like everyone, either big corporations do it, but you just don't see people like owning it often. And then whenever you own it, sometimes you get even more. You get even more, and it's just like,
you get respect from it then.
Like people will comment and say, I just ordered because, you know, I appreciate that you were honest. Like one of the biggest ones, and to be fair, this was pretty bad. Like I don't know if you saw it, but we got a comment once saying that a Stanley knife went in someone's order.
I think I seen that. I think I did see that. And like, was it just dropped into the box or something?
I think it was me that done it. I remember we were just so fast paced, and what was happening was I was like preparing orders myself, and I would like set them here open. Another guy would come and tape them in, but we were just going so fast because we had so many orders. But like this person had commented, they had emailed us, and they had sent us a picture like to confirm. And like, first of all, they were so understanding and so nice, and obviously thank God nothing happened. Like I was like, okay, this is really bad. Like
thinking it's a sweet or something and eating it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I've seen this thing before where like people like open a cereal box and there's a bee in it, and you're like, all right, fair, like you could have consumed that. But at the same time, I think if I ordered a pile of stuff off you and opened the box, when there's a Stanley knife, I wouldn't be like, I wonder how that tastes. You know what I mean? Like,
after that, you done that video? Did they start a big impulse of people like sending in pictures of stuff and being like, oh, I got this in my sweet box and
people
stuff?
Were literally
like faking it,
like there's shit in my box.
Like.
So much of that, like so much.
Accidentally dropped a deuce in your sweet box.
Sorry, bro.
I was packing your sweets while I was on the toilet. This thing's got a bit hectic.
Did you say that's like the worst thing that's happened in terms of like sending stuff out, or?
100%, and I was so scared to post that as well. But I sort of thought, this is right. This is me owning up is right, and I posted it, and we got like. We do get negative comments, and we got like no negative comments. Everyone was like, good on you. Like,
but it happens.
And it was just like, we need to do better as well.
But like in terms of like, I suppose I seen the sort of TikToks I was referring to was more like the ones where you said about like ones like dropping the boxes of sweets and stuff, and like, so like what way does that work in terms of like, if you're ordering a pile of stuff in and say it does come in or someone drops something, like do you write that off? Like, is that written off, or like for staff and stuff, is that just kind of
it'll be refunded or replaced 100%. Like 100%. Like we started selling, like expanding our range, so like we sell drinks, we sell crisps, we sell tubs of sweets, and we try to pack it to the best of our abilities. But if it's something new, and some of the orders are so different, like you've got really heavy items with small items, and we just maybe don't know the best way to pack it. So like if we make a mistake, it's like 100% like refunded or reimbursed. And sometimes we even, like, often we'll go over as well. Like, maybe we reimburse them more, give them a free order or off their next order, whatever, just because it depends how bad it sort of ended up for them. Like,
so what I would love to know is what way, because we'll maybe get on to the packets of sweets that you're doing now, what way does it work then in terms of, like, for someone like me, if I wanted a packet of sweets or something, or if I wanted like splurge out in sweets, I'd probably just go down to the Spar. So, like, what way does it work for you? It's like in terms of, did you just notice that there's more people are buying in terms of online? Like, or is it cheaper in bulk, or like to buy from someone like you, or like what would be, you know, there's probably people listening who would be a bit like myself and be like, if I wanted sweets, I'd just go down and buy them out of Tesco. Like
100%, I'd be the same. Like I never, like, I don't order sweets or chocolate online myself, but we started slow and I just saw the potential with it, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Like, if people are buying it, like there's so many people who are in the same position where they're like, nah, I would just go down to the shop. I think when I think about it, I think maybe like people don't want to leave the house. They're maybe not close to a shop.
Mm-hmm.
They maybe don't have the range.
Do you think with COVID as well, like people being weird about going to the shops and like catching COVID, that's just like, well, if I can just order it online, like a lot of ones order, like there's Tesco's or Sainsbury's shops online now.
100%. Whenever COVID first hit, we weren't selling, like, it wasn't Greedy Gwin, we were still selling on Amazon.
Yeah.
And it was really good for us.
Did
like,
you notice like a big spike, like where you're like, fuck, this has really impacted us?
Like, it was it was better than any Christmas. And what made it so good as well was the big corporations had to like stop selling because they were huge with like huge numbers of people.
Workers and stuff. Yeah.
So like supply was going down, demand was going through. Like at the time, like we were selling like soups and stuff and like pot noodles, or like stuff with long expiry dates. And up until this point, like they didn't sell it often, but I just listed them. They went through the roof. Like people were mad, like buying. We used to sell this like skim milk powder. You just add like water to it or whatever and it would turn into milk. I don't know. But like we sold like hundreds of these in a couple of days. Like people were. Seriously. It was mad.
Did you buy any toilet roll in it?
That was like the number one seller. Like
hand sanitizer. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Have you ever got like any massive orders of sweets and like parties and stuff? Like what sort of figures would you be getting?
The biggest order was from a company, Bupa, B-U-P-A.
Oh yeah,
healthcare.
Yeah.
Like
healthcare or ordering a load of sweets.
I know.
For employees. For employees, it was like the mini selection boxes we do.
Right.
And then another tax company ordered as well. Like hundreds of them.
To be fair, that's probably how you get people to sign up to Bupa. Just get them really unfit
and
unhealthy.
Loads of sugar.
What would be if you
Create the business for yourself?
You have diabetes. I should probably get healthcare.
Creating demand.
if you don't mind us asking, like what is like the biggest single order you've got, like where you've been holy shit?
So that one, well, like a personal order, like you see,
just like the biggest amount of it in one order type.
Or even what does one person like ordered themselves? Is there anything that really stands out?
Last week there was like £268. And it's, on
for
sweets.
one person.
You see, it's hard to know sometimes because like one person bought like all of this specific brand. It was like Warheads, like all of our stock for it, and we didn't know if they were going to sell it themselves. Sweet shops do buy from us, and sell it on because we sell stuff in bulk. But like £250-260, I would say.
It's like a week's wages on fucking sweets.
I know,
but to be fair, a lot of people, like there's a brand that my girlfriend was over in America, like whenever we first started going out, it's like 5 years ago, and brought me over like a big thing of Swedish fish. And Swedish fish is always something that if I see it, like there's a shop in Ballymena I think sells it, but it's dear. Like it's dear. It's like £3 for like a wee packet. And like whenever her brother is going out with a girl from America, so every time she comes over I'm like, bring me Swedish fish, because like there's nowhere in Northern Ireland I think that like does the big bags off it, if you know what I mean. Well, maybe we used to.
Yeah, we do.
All right, okay. Should have messaged you and been like, your lad.
do you deal with all like importing from America of the sweets?
No, there's actually a huge company here. Well, I don't know how big they are, but they do a lot of business in Lisbon.
Right.
And they reached out to us from TikTok. The guy was just like, my brother-in-law saw your TikTok, saw you're looking American stuff, like we import it and sell it. So
do you think like a lot of like the bigger, more established, like well, not that these aren't established business, like, but you know, like the ones like who aren't on TikTok that might be a bit older and like sort of looking at it like, oh, I don't know about that, but like the likes of someone yourself who you're saying like the majority of your traffic's coming from TikTok. When do you think like big corporations and stuff are going to start like copping on to like the potential?
Hopefully never.
Oh no.
Hopefully never, because whenever they come and they start spending money, that's when the organic reach is going to go down. I think it is starting to happen. Like, do you ever see like Ryanair's TikTok?
Yeah, it's so funny.
It's fucking hilarious. Like they've nailed it. Like,
but that's the way it should be though, because it's like they're just making good content. It's not like paying thousands of pounds to get an ad that everyone's gonna see. Like you go on and see now the ads that come up straight away on TikTok. Like they're obviously sponsored, but like Ryanair's just making good content. Like that's the way it should be.
Trying to make an ad that doesn't look like an ad.
Products as well are coming up. Like TikTok's now turned into like every 3 scrolls it's an ad.
Right.
And all mine is like flipping Be Perfect makeup or something, and it's just like
them ads are like they're directed at because of your cookies. So obviously you've been looking
at makeup. Not to my knowledge, but maybe. Like there's like I get them all the time. I literally, if I'm scrolling through TikTok today, I'll show you. It's just like these girls and they like uncover the camera and they're like showing you like doing their makeup, and I'm like, wow.
You like need some of that.
You're looking at me going, that's why his eyes look so defined, is what they do.
So that sparkle came from.
So explain these before we wrap up. So is this like your next venture in terms of? And if you're from Eurospar, or if you're, what other places do you want to get them into?
We only have them on one shop. We have them in a Eurospar in Marfeld,
right?
And we want to try them get them into Henderson's.
Yeah,
who
like all the spars,
yeah.
And we want to get them to roll them out. But if they don't, and if you haven't got back to us yet, like we're just gonna have to take it upon ourselves to like try and get them into as many stores as possible.
Infiltrate the areas.
Infiltrators.
So
right.
if you're from Henderson's,
please,
we're looking at you. If you're from Henderson's, give this man a call.
Yeah.
We're about to try these sweets.
Mm-hmm.
And give you our honest opinion.
Let's hear it. Like
so here's the Craic reaction.
Henderson's would have like, their contracts would be for the spars and stuff, like they have to get like 95% of their stuff from, which leaves a small percentage for someone like me to come in and try supply to that shop. So you want to get in with them.
And can you just walk into any random shop and just be like, here, will you sell my sweets? Like,
I think so.
Is that, or do they need to go through like the likes of Henderson's?
See, they'll probably know themselves whether like how much they have from other like suppliers or whatever.
They're all like really family businesses, and like they're just the franchise because of Spawn, like the likes of that. So
I like the one JC's.
You'd always wonder how much of a say that they do have. Like.
I've seen the fizzy strawberry, and I was like,
fizzy strawberry.
I opened it, I was like, that's my vibe.
What's your favourite sweet though?
Strawberry or cherry?
Yeah, like the fizzy ones. Though.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the dummies.
Yeah.
Or the bears. Bears are quite shit.
You want one? Tell us what you think.
Oh my god, what are these?
I love the cherry ones.
Cherries are the best.
These are nice, huh?
Yeah,
is it really tempting working in a place like that? Like, do you just walk around?
Thanks.
Would you just walk around like during the day, like picking sweets out of like boxes and stuff? Like,
yeah, and it's kind of hard because if you start it, it's hard to stop.
Yeah.
So it's almost easier to be like, I'm not eating anything.
Yeah. No, I feel that, and keep that up for the day.
So this is your fizzy mix. What's coming next?
The gummy mix.
Right.
So it's kind of the same without like the sugar all over it.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do like maybe the strawberries by themselves or the cherries by themselves or bubblegum balls by themselves.
Did you have like a chocolate bar as well? Like, did I see? No. And
yeah.
How'd that go?
Like this is another thing people talk about. Like I gave my honest review. It's just all right. Like like.
So you went on TikTok about your own chocolate bar and like, nah, it's just all right. Like,
it's all right. Imagine you like, I can't believe people are buying this as a shit.
Like I'm like some people love it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, for me, it's not the best chocolate.
Yeah.
And we probably just keep selling it because some people like it. And I'm like, fair enough. But like, this is a really good sweet to me. But the chocolate's like not a really good chocolate.
Yeah, I'd say chocolate's a difficult one too, with the likes of like Cadbury's and Galaxy and stuff.
Do you ever find though that you can manipulate people to almost be like, flip, this is terrible, where people are like, I want to try that? Like, I'll give you an example. We were in Scotland there, right? We were in Edinburgh, and we visited this place to eat called the Boozy Cow, and one of the specials is the Capaldi burger, and it's two 6-ounce beef patties with maple syrup, bacon, and then the bun is a sugar ring donut.
Jesus Christ.
To the point where I was just like, here, like, I'd try that. And like the comment I think below it was just like, you don't want to try this. And I was like, but I do. So do you think if you come on and was like, lads, this chocolate is clean humming, people would be like, you know what, I'll be the judge of that, David.
Maybe.
This is a TikTok clip. This goes viral and people start trying it.
Yeah. That could be a new one. Like,
you do like chili chocolate or something?
Oh, that's a big thing. Like, no, we do like the wee like Bean Boozled things, you know, where you eat it and it's like
nappies and how much did you get of that? Like, how many orders did you get of that?
Oh, not a while. We don't really do that much stuff. Like,
I think I'd want to order like jelly beans that taste like nappies or whatever. No thanks.
It's no fun. Like, it's no fun.
You should do a bag of just
one of them today.
Oh, there's a wee game and all. You spin it and it tells you what color to.
You should do a bag of just the rotten flavours. You know, like it's mixed like nicer and rotten ones. Just do a whole bag of the rotten ones.
It's good for like pranks for like birthdays and all.
Like, because I'm looking here and I'm seeing Greedy Gwin fizzy mix, part of our So Good range. I'm definitely feeling like a range coming on like so terrible.
Or so shit range. Part of our awful range.
Please don't buy this. As soon as you pop up, it's like a discount code minus 100%. Please just take it. We don't want it. But like, yeah. So the next thing is obviously. So what do you see in the future then?
Jeez, it's one thing I don't think about too much actually. You know, I get a lot of questions like, where do you see yourself in like 3-4 years? Like, I very much just like stay like, what's our problems right now? Yeah. Like what I think is a good idea to do right now. Stay there and see what does that turn into. Because you make a plan and plans just don't work.
Shit.
Like plans just don't work.
Yeah.
Like go to do it and the first thing goes wrong. Like it's just I think you have to be able to work with what you have and just the opportunities that are there. So that's where I tend to focus.
What do you think was like the biggest thing you've learned so far from, or like the best bit of advice you've got, I suppose? Or
like it's easy for me to work in this because I really like it.
Yeah.
You know, doing what you like I think is so important. You have to know if you're good at it. You have to be good at it as well to like make it worthwhile to spend all your time doing it. But like I can put so many hours into this because I just like doing it.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like not putting it down, but I feel like that's such a cliched thing to say, but really you will actually, once you actually genuinely find something you do like, you will be able to tell the difference in something you're like, oh, you know, I kind of like doing that. For example, like your engineering course or whatever.
Exactly. Like I was already doing this before I thought I could do it.
Yeah.
You know,
you're probably good at it, like, but I think that's a lot of people don't realize the difference in I'm good at something and actually liking something.
Aye, because to me, like everything's hard. Like, if you want to be good at something, it's going to be hard. There's going to come a point in time where you're like, fuck, this sucks. Like, do I want to do this?
Yeah.
And if you enjoy doing it, you're like maybe doing it for the right reason. So you're willing to go, okay, yeah, I'll just keep doing it. You know, I'll keep doing it. As opposed to like, I used to write articles on a freelance website, and it was the most painful thing ever. Like it was so, I hated every minute of it. And I was doing it for like a couple $. And I couldn't keep doing that because I just detested it. Like,
I suppose like the next thing, I'll start wrapping it up here, like, but so you're saying like the lessons you've learned or whatever, but like what was there any points where you were ready to give it up, or was there any points you're like, oh, like what am I doing here, you know? What would have been like the toughest point, like you were close to just being like throwing it in?
Mentally there's been a few times of that, but like when I look back, I was putting so much work in for such a long period of time that if I took a 2-day break I'd be back at it, which is often the case.
Just take a break, no?
Whenever I was first getting VAT registered, like that was a fucking minefield, like, and there was so much paperwork to it and all, and I didn't really understand it, and I was just getting a wee bit sick of it, and I was like, fuck this. And sometimes I do let myself go there mentally, like, you know what, I'm not gonna do this, and then I just give myself the day to do whatever it is I want, and then just take it like that. When I get back into it, I'll get back into it, because there's plenty of times where I force myself to work and then end up taking like X amount of days off to work, to like stop working, because I've just sickened myself of it. So trying to like, but it's hard to do that at the start, because like I didn't know it was working, and I didn't know how, like, I don't know, you just working flat out, like putting pressure on yourself. Like now things are going a bit better. I'm trying to like work with myself, like, you know, work when you want to work.
Balance and stuff.
Balance is a big one.
So the next thing is getting these bad boys into spars.
Yeah, getting them all across Northern Ireland. And the
I
Republic
think the
of
more
Ireland.
you push it, the more it's going to happen. Like, you know what I mean?
so.
Would you open your own sweet shop?
100%. Something we've actually looked at.
I suppose like the call was it hard to weigh up now that like you're doing so well online. Like, is it worth like actually opening up like a physical store and paying rent and shit?
Overheads.
If I had to have a lot of input in it, I don't think it would work. But I'm trying to like stay open-minded. Well, like, what if I hired people and they were running most of it?
Yeah.
Still doing the TikToks and all. Like, I don't want to close my mind to it. But I don't think I couldn't be doing too much of it and doing all the rest of it, you know.
What is like your role now? Like, what do you be day to day? What would you be doing? Like, I suppose you wouldn't be packing and stuff. Like,
some days I am, you know. Some days I am. Like, the way we have it at work is like, I tell the lads, like, I want you to come in every day, Monday to Friday. Yeah. You know, but if you want to take a day off, I'm not going to tell you can't take a day off. Like,
have you any jobs going?
We actually do. But like, if a couple of guys don't want to come in, then like I might have to pick up
an empty box. It was definitely
a wee bit. Like, if everyone's in, like, more the ideas, more like overseeing things. TikTok, like, marketing is probably the best place for me to be. But actually, I still do most stuff. The one thing I don't do much of anymore is like the bookkeeping side of it. Because I fucking hate that. Like, there's a guy that does most of that now, thank God. It's just the most boring thing ever.
But yeah, so we'll maybe wrap that up there. So big outtake is, if you're listening to this, Henderson's, get in touch. It's good stuff. Please. I like it. It has our seal of approval. That's the only thing that matters. Henderson's going to see this and be like, them three boys mean business.
You'll be getting a cut.
But yeah, no, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
If you want to buy stuff, go to greedygwin.com.
What's the website?
.co.uk. Some cunt bought.com and he's selling it for like $1,000. Dirty bastard.
That's slay.
Oh my word, that's annoying.
And I'm sure everyone's seen you on TikTok, like, so. Yeah.
Go and follow him on TikTok and go and buy some sweets. And if you get any of that like not so nice chocolate left over, because you could be like, oh, here, just buy that. Get that out of your stock, please. Promise no Stanley nights as well. So yeah, thanks very much for coming on.
Thank you.